So the Trump Justice Department said that there was no client list, but the entire episode was another flashing light in an era when belief in the American system of justice had corroded to the point of collapse, which is the Republicans' fault. They've been sowing doubt in our institutions for so long. This is their fault. This has all been a self-inflicted fucking wound. Raw witness accounts and evidence from incomplete criminal investigations were never meant to be seen by the public. There were long-standing systems in place to protect both the accused and the accuser. The files amounted to a public dump of any Justice Department document that mentioned Epstein's name, no matter whether the information was confirmed as accurate or not. The released pages did name many powerful men. Among them was Epstein's former close friend, now the President of the United States. In a January 2020 email, a federal prosecutor told a colleague that Trump had flown on Epstein's private jet far more than anyone knew. Flight records in the files showed at least 8 trips between 1993 and 1996, sometimes with his second wife, Mara Maples, sometimes with his children. In January 2024, Trump declared that he had never been on the plane. What else remained undisclosed? The question would only sharpen as people combed through what was redacted or missing. The DOJ, after more than 3 million documents were made public, said no others needed to be released. Trump, characteristically, was creating his own reality. He had long claimed that everyone else was corrupt, especially his critics. Those files, he would say, despite the avalanche of references to himself, were the proof. There are a lot of questions about it, he told reporters at the White House in February of 2026, but nothing on me. Trump had declared Epstein a dead issue during the summer, but as he began the second year of his presidency, his own team could see that voter concerns about Epstein were still breaking through to an alarming extent. In an internal memo circulated to roughly a dozen Trump advisors in late of March 2026, the president's pollster, Fabrizio, summarized findings from 2 nights of focus groups conducted that month. Fabrizio's memo listed the Epstein files as the 6th most important issue raised in the focus groups, behind inflation, the economy, foreign policy, immigration, and healthcare, but ahead of data centers, military issues, crime and safety, and being pro-working class. In the section on key takeaways of the focus groups, Fabrizio's memo stated, there is also a consistent mention of the Epstein files, which came up in every group, and there's real negative with some of these voters. The Epstein crisis has exposed something that some of Trump's closest advisors spent months refusing to see. The president could break institutions, redirect the federal government against his enemies, and bring the world's richest men into the Oval Office bearing tribute. But he could not, it turned out, make Jeffrey Epstein disappear. This is the author's note. This article is adapted from reporting for our book, Regime Change, Inside the Imperial Presidency of Donald Trump. The bulk of the reporting took place from the spring of 2023 to the spring of 2026. During that time, we conducted more than 1,000 interviews with a wide range of people close to President Trump, including campaign officials, White House staff members, officials serving in government departments and agencies, former aides, donors, lawmakers, friends, and business associates. Many of our interviews were conducted on the journalistic ground rule of deep background, agreed to in advance, which meant we could use the information but not identify who gave it to us. Throughout the reporting process, we made extensive efforts to contact individuals named and give them ample opportunity to offer their perspective. When we used direct quotes, those quotes came from either the person speaking, from someone who heard that person directly, or from contemporaneous notes, recordings, or transcripts. When we paraphrase, it's because witnesses and participants in the dialogue could not recall the precise wording, but were confident about the thrust of the message expressed. Where there were discrepancies between the accounts of participants in meetings, we generally erred on the side of removing the disagreed upon material. In some instances, we relied on our own judgment of various sources' reliability based on our long histories of covering Trump and his inner circle. Over the course of these past 3 years, during the daily reporting for the New York Times, each of us has spoken to Donald Trump multiple times, and the president sat for an hour-long interview with us on March 16th, 2026. I hope you enjoyed this. It took me a couple hours to read, and it's going to take me several hours to clean it up, edit it, put it out. Thank you for watching my videos.